what a hype series this is. One more man for the top 4. For Starbuck, it would be one of his biggest career successes.
Yeah.
Again, for Happy, it's just another Saturday, I guess, but he hasn't won an offline event this entire year, and that is rare for Happy. He lost in Dubai in January, he couldn't go to Raraland, he lost in Xi'an. I think he really wants this.
Of course, his loss in Xi'an was because his teammates dragged him down. Like, that one doesn't really count.
Ah, come on. He was in a decider match with Fortitude, and he lost that decider match. He also lost the mirror match versus 120, so it's not that he won everything. Like, it was 4 a.m. at night. I understand that it wasn't, like, the perfect conditions anymore, but he lost the ace match.
Fair enough, fair enough. And there are a lot of contenders. The time of Happy solo hegemony is over. Starbuck is the second best European player for as far as I think. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that. I felt like that for a while now.
Yeah, if you count Russia as Europe, there's always a bit debate here. But Happy is obviously the best, and then Starbuck is the second. Like, Foggy is playing a lot more BattleNet, and it's not, or was absent from competition. And after Starbuck, there's, I think, a lot of nothing. Like, sometimes Leon can compete, but also not really. So yeah, Starbuck definitely number 2.
Leon, Hawk, like, they're good, right? Spiral, but I think number 1 Happy, number 2 Starbuck, and if Starbuck wins now, that probably still wouldn't have him overtake Happy in standing, but it would be extremely impressive and certainly not impossible, because they have had some close series against one another. Now, tell us a little bit about the strategy you're expecting from Starbuck. Like, do we expect to see Paladin Rifle, or is it going to be full expansionist?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Starbuck is a huge fan of Pally Rifle. We usually see it versus Orc when he plays against the Asian Orcs. That could be something, because in my opinion, Happy is the best when he knows what he's up against, and when he's up against that strategy a lot. Like, then he can refine and squeeze out that 0.1% that he's so known for. But Pally Rifle, yeah, maybe you're onto something.
I mean, I don't know if he's prepared it. It's one thing to use it against Orc, quite another to use it against Undead. I mean, I think back of what Thorzane was able to do against Happy in 2018, 2019, or whatever, 2020. He was like the one human in the world that could stand against Happy with Pala Rifle. If anyone else could do that in present day and age, I'd say that would be Starbuck. He's going to have very good micro with that. He's going to have some cool original tricks, some understandings of the matchup. But it comes down to whether he practiced it. And if he did, with whom? Who is close enough to Happy in skill for him to stress test that strategy, for him to develop a level of confidence? Practice partners are more scarce these days. You pretty much have to practice on W3 champions, on ladder, against the very opponents that you are going to be facing in the tournament. So in this late stage Warcraft 3 esports, execution is more important than ever, and the element of surprise cannot often be relied upon.
That's true. Also, Happy is basically exclusively playing Crypt Lord these days. Do you really want to go Paladin Rifle versus a Crypt Lord player?
No, you don't. Like, if someone were to whisper you the secret, he's going to go Pala Rifle, you would do a tier 1 expansion with Crypt Lord as a counter. So why would Starbuck counter himself? Good point.
Exactly. He's really good at expansions and Archmage Harass, and then especially Griffin play. The more he can lame, the better, and with tanks and Griffins, that is definitely possible. We saw Happy set up there on stage, right? Like, taping his mousepad to the table. Back in your...
Is he afraid that Starbuck is going to steal it?
I think he just wants it to be at the perfect spot. Did you do something like that?
I interrupted you.
Yeah, did you do something like that back when you were traveling?
Steal Happy's mousepad? Absolutely.
Did EG not provide you with your own?
No. We were very poor in mousepads, so I brought Happy on into EG specifically so I could steal his mousepad.
Ah, smart, man. Always the businessman.
Yeah, of course. You know, we're very thrifty here in the Netherlands. And never leave money or pads on the table if you can get away with it.
Not when you're around. Okay, lesson learned for sure. But yeah, it's really interesting how seriously happy takes this. Like every piece of gear has to be at this spot. The monitor has to be at that height. He brings his own noise cancelling headphones to the tournament.
Makes sense.
Yeah, does it?
Wait, that's not noise cancelling what he has, is it?
I think it is.
Let's see. I guess you might be right. Like because it looks like one of those construction headset that just does a really good job of passively isolating noise away. It looks like something that works completely analogously, like not digitally, because noise cancellation does like a counter frequency to sound outside. Because I don't see a cord, it would need to have quite a hefty battery, which is of course possible. I just thought it's one of those block sound only things.
Yeah, might be right. I'm curious why he does it, because this is a studio event. There's no casters. Like he brought these headsets to Rara, where the cast is at the arena as well. Here, that's not really the case. So maybe it's about music or whatever.
I think there is no sound coming from a headset like this. I believe it's something you might use in construction or the gun range, Keikona. And then he has the earbuds with the actual sound underneath it. So it's just a way to exert more control over the conditions, because it really sucks when you don't have control over it. Anytime you're like in an arena and then someone walks by you and is talking, and you got to determine, am I going to be cool and just let it slide off me because, you know, I'm a tournament winner and I'm supposed to stay focused, or do I say something about it, but now in the mindset of complaining, which can distract you from the tournament. So you try to control as many conditions as possible and let the little things slide away from you, unless it's so egregious that the chair isn't good enough. Then of course you got to say something, right?
Yeah, thankfully he's so professional that he deals with all that stuff the day prior to the tournament.
Does he?
You know, yeah. Like if something's not all right, he's gonna tell you. I heard he talked to the organizers for like 2 to 3 hours on Thursday.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then
you can sleep and reset, and then all that nervous energy and potentially arguing and so on isn't going to affect you on game day.
Exactly.
But of course, you don't want to cause any delays and have organizers and fans hate you because you cause delays. But at the same time, you got to appreciate the trueness to high-level competition, to want conditions to be as good as they possibly can be within reason.
Ooh, we're getting started, Grubby. Off we go. Starbuck versus Happy, lower brackets. Round 2, the fight for the top 4 is on. Who survives till Championship Sunday? It is the vice champion of last time versus the second strongest European player representing Phantom Aces, and it's Undead versus Human. This couldn't get any better, Grubby. Cool. Looking forward to it, Neo. Been watching this all day since I've been awake at the crack of 1 p.m. and now here to cast it with you. I'm looking forward to it. Happy was thrown to the lower bracket by 1-2-0, and round 1 it was a very close series 3-2. Starbuck is in the lower bracket because he lost today to Fortitude 3-2 in a super close series, and you as a competitor, if you're in Starbuck's shoes and you go into the match versus 40 as the underdog and you get so close to victory, but then ultimately fail because you get bashed 2 times, is that still a victory in your book because you got so close and you performed so well? Or is it just the disappointment that you might carry on to the lower bracket now?
I feel that, and this might be completely like projection or false psychology that does not apply to him, but when I saw that Starbuck typed well played, GG well played, not just GG, in one of the maps that he lost. I think he was up 1-0, right? And then he went 1-1.
What's the other way around? He was... Oh no, he won on Lost Temple. Yeah.
Well, anyway, when I saw he lost one of the maps and he said well played, I thought he's gonna lose the series.
Why is that?
Because it's kind of a bitch thing to say, like mid-series. You know why?
Okay, no.
It shows a level of respect / admiration for your opponent that can help fortify their mindset to be more confident. And you don't have to disrespect someone, but to like go all the way to like pedestaling someone, saying well played. I mean, you know, it could be like it could be mind games, but in general, it's better when the opponent is more unconfident about your mind state. And when you say well played, it shows like a level of respect. And I think it calms the opponent down a lot. Like, I don't think he should have said that, in my opinion. I have caught myself saying it once, and then I thought, wait, that's something you say at the end of a series. not in the middle. Why? Is it for me over mentally already? And that's what I thought. It was over for Starbuck mentally. Like, in some way, I don't think he's thinking enough about the continuity. Maybe he thought it was like 1-2, oh, it's over, whatever. I don't know. Like, this could be like me just completely talking BS. But I didn't feel like he should say that. At that moment, I thought he's gonna lose.
Alrighty, then let's focus on the game. We have not your classic start on Northern Isles, as Starbuck is not going for an expo at all, and we see Happy is sending ghouls to the south already, trying to cancel expansion, but they walk into no man's land. Starbuck level 2.3, ultra fast aggression, and that is all fueled by a big mana potion.
I think he is expanding because he's not teching. So this is just like, I delay you and we both start later. I know your style. I know you always do this triple ghoul counter harass. So any expand I try to do now is doomed to fail. So he's saving up mass peasants, mass lumber extra, fails the deny kill there on his footman, tried to get us around, doesn't get that either. And he's gonna try to get like level 3 Archmage with the militia creeping. He's basically countering what he knows Happy always does with the ghouls. And then eventually, once he's done enough delay on the Crypt Lord expansion, I think that's where he's going to do his own expansion. He just wanted to do it off the back of a different game tempo.
Okay, let's hope that he has some peasants left afterwards. So far, it seems like it's the Happy show, but this is the power spike for Starbuck. Level 3 unlocked, Water Elemental summoned immediately, and this is the moment where you just wash away the ghouls from the battlefield.
He's guaranteed not to get the Crypt Lord if Happy doesn't want it. First of all, there's a greater mana pot on the... Wait, is there? Oh,
yeah.
no, never mind. Sorry, the greater mana pot is on the Archmage. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is no Impale right now, but he doesn't have boots, so he can't chase down the Crypt Lord, but he's totally power spike harassing. Happy decided this Expo thing isn't working out fast enough, so he's gone for the tier 2. Starbuck still is not tier 2. He is going to try to take like a 10 militia solo creep of the natural while constantly pressuring with Archmage level 3.
This is super interesting to me because I don't know how many maps of Happy versus Human I've cast in the past couple of weeks, like probably 40. And he was so stubborn at brute forcing this expansion. Like, it doesn't matter if you're 12 minutes, tier 1, he is trying to expand. And now here at BetBoom, he's not doing that anymore. And I mean, he is losing a bit in the base. He's also preventing the opponent's expansion on the other side. I wonder what made him change that approach.
He just sees this big dedicated attack without the counter expansion, and so he realizes Starbuck might be expanding, might be teching up, and so he thinks he can do it too. At least he's not going to be up against 2 base. Starbuck has 600 resources, still didn't tech up. So he obviously has the money for it. He could even do a Bronze League Hero style Expo and tier 2 at the same time. But somehow, like, did he forget that he hasn't teched? Is he still thinking about the counter expansion? What seemed like a good idea at first, I feel like is devolving into something very ugly, where he's just not progressing in any particular direction. You see, now he's expanding, but this is 6 minute 20. This is when uncontested Bronze League players get their tier 2 expansion with a Mountain King second. So he has a tier 2 expansion timing, but while being tier 1. Now, I'm not saying it because it's like, oh, it's so bad. Like, we know how it happened because he invested so much into pressure. But this is a plan that worked better in his head.
Yeah, I agree. And he's under constant threat of being impaled. We see Impale 2 over Beetles 2, and that's what I was fearing. Impale on the Archmage ghouls. Trying to get there, but can't get the connection. Nice little bait. This was a lot of mana. Could have potentially been 4 Beetles. And
he has another Impale, by the way. Like, literally, if he gets the Impale on the... Okay, that was cool. Impale got cast. Archmage did not die. Impale is a pretty fast projectile, so he had to be fast on the TP, and he was.
Seems like I'm a bit ahead of you. I'm gonna pause in a second once this arrest
I will refresh.
Oh yeah, we can refresh here on YouTube. True, we can click on the live thingy.
Okay. I am at 721. You?
Okay, I'm a bit ahead. I'm gonna pause for 4 seconds. I'm at 27.
7, 8, 9,
okay.
30.
Should be fine. Alrighty, now the Archmage on the prowl. He got boots, Happy does not, and there's some fireballs going the Bucks' way.
Yeah, he would maybe kill the Crypt Lord if ghouls don't come out to chaperone the Crypt Lord, and there's the Death Knight as well. Alright.
Okay. Threatening us around. Off we go. Yeah, this expansion has to work, and then we got attack. Like, Starbuck has a long way ahead of him because tier 3 by Happy is right around the corner.
That's crazy, really? He's almost finished tier 3?
Yeah, in the bottom right, you see the tech progress, and there's a lot of white and very little black, so that tech is soon to be finishing. Impale, focus, sayonara. Town portal was used before, an Archmage plus horse bites the dust.
Yeah, and Starbuck had an esports position shift. He kind of like got up. He was uncomfortable. He repositioned himself on the chair. He knew that was like a crucial moment. Make no mistake, that Archmage doesn't die, he's not in a good position, right? Like, he finished his expansion, but he's tier 1, and you're gonna, fight against tier 3 with a Lich coming out with an Orb of Corruption and Frenzy timing that, will hit a little later than usual, but still gonna hit about right before minute 10. You're not in a good spot. I mean, I don't know what kind of dance he has to do to try and somehow get back in the game. I didn't think he could do it against Fortitude, but he did on Twisted Meadows, but this, I don't know, Neo.
Yeah, it looks rather one-sided at the moment, and this is probably the game that many expected. But it's not a Pit Lord push with Rain of Fire. It's a very underleveled DK. Happy is on 1 base, so every moment Starbuck is surviving is good for him, and never underestimate the power of late game tanks. Like, maybe that's a solution that Starbuck can go for. Knights and gyros can be great, but seeing the tech, yeah, he still got like 80 seconds on that tech.
Love that little statue attack to cancel the regeneration scroll. We got Footage trying to get us around. He does not get this around on the Death Knight. It's a Frost Nova and an Impale. 3 footmen down, 4 perhaps. And there's the first destroyer. That sound?
Yo.
That awful sound, the destroyer morph. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that derailed quickly. Happy outsmarting him a little bit here, going for the expo or faking that expo, and then super quick tech as a plan B. That is something we oftentimes see against Night Elf, not so often against Human, where it's brute force. I wonder if that attack by Starbuck was a little bit off. He wasn't level 3 when he attacked. Maybe he felt forced to do that because of that mana potion, or he saw an opportunity there.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this strategy sounded very good on paper. This is one of those stories where you go like, hear me out. What if you go early with level 2, you get the cancel on the gold mine, you stay there, you militia creep to level 3, and you just keep the Crypt Lord busy and he's never expanding, and then you take 1 or 2 footies with 7 militia and you solo creep your natural at the same time. He does this against Orc as well, by the way, right? And I lost to him doing this. He loves creeping his expo when his Archmage isn't there. And he knows about Happy's Ghoul counter timing, so I think he had worked it all out in his mind. And then in his mind, at some point, when Happy realizes that the expansion isn't forthcoming, Happy pulls back the ghouls. And that's where Starbuck will take the expansion, maybe. Right? But instead, the 4 ghouls went to the main, started fighting peasants. Starbuck's reaction, in my opinion, it's always a little late for a top player. So, like, he lost a peasant there with not on time to go to the militia. And then he just could never counter expand. And whereas Happy quickly adjusted his mindset and said, okay, I see how this game is going. Let's go tier 2. Starbuck, it's unforgivable to get this 650 and still not click your tech up. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he could have teched literally 2 minutes ago and still make the expansion with how much peasants, footies, and lumber he had accrued.
The text there was saying that Starbuck started his esports career rather late compared to the other players. He started only after Reforged. Thanks to Warcraft 3 Reforged for giving us Starbuck. And one thing we have to mention about this game, this was pretty one-sided, but it was also Happy's map pick. This tournament functions in a way that it's AB, AB, and then the neutral playground is map 5, if we go that way. So Northern Isles was Happy's map, and now Terenas stand is Starbuck's map.
Makes sense. This map was always very, very good for human, like insanely good for human. But this was in a period where Undead pretty much wouldn't expand. And then the Matt Morris patch came in 2019. Undead got like 4 or 5 buffs to expansion, including Acolyte buff, Cigarette, Goldmine, Necropolis, and the most important one being Sacrificial Skull does not require Graveyard. Completely changed the matchup, in my opinion, into a more fair and skill-based matchup where both players are able to expand or not expand.
That's right. And if we've seen Terenas stand, then it was a Dreadlord. And it is a Dreadlord. Oh, how beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, happy. He did this on big maps.
Why Dreadlord over Cryptlord? What is your experience with it? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, he plays it on big macro maps like Lost Temple, or he has for a long time. I haven't seen it in a while. I thought, okay, maybe he's holding it back for the big stage, and he does. Here on Terenas, I'm not really sure why he really does it. Cryptlord is obviously fantastic versus Gyrocopters. Well, the Cryptlord is not.
Dreadlord. Yeah. Yeah, so Dreadlord, like you said, has an edge against mechanicals, flying machines or siege engines. And then generally Cryptlord seems better at like mass early skirmishes, perhaps. Oh, I love this. He didn't quite get the block. There's the Stormbolt though, that's gonna get the kill. Will Starbuck get the XP? No! Oh.
Deny by the creeps, man. This is a little unlucky. But yeah, you said Stormbolt. We have a Mountain King versus Dreadlord opener. And we talked about the variety in the scene in the past couple of weeks, months, years. And this is just the perfect example.
Mountain King. I wonder, is it best to go Mountain King when you know opponent has Death Knight, Lich, Dreadlord, or Cryptlord? Because like, while all 4 heroes have been meta for Undead against Human, I would say even that Death Knight first is probably the least likely to come out of Happy right now. Even though it used to be the most likely, of course. When would you go Mountain King? When you're against Cryptlord? When you're against Dreadlord? I don't even know anymore. I didn't watch this matchup enough to know.
Yeah, I think Cryptlord is very, very tanky, and the strength of the Cryptlord is like run-bys with ghouls and beetles, and the Mountain King with just little mobility isn't the craziest against that. So Starbuck must be pretty sure that it's Dreadlord. Like, he must be sure that he gets level 3 as well, because that's one of the characteristica of Terenas stand. And if you have Stormbolt 2 against a low HP Dreadlord, I think that's quite a threat.
Yeah, makes sense. Indeed, I would not like to go Mountain King if I know opponent has Cryptlord, harder to deal with all those summons. And Dreadlord, being a strength hero, has relatively low strength gain by comparison. And so he is definitely going to be like the second most vulnerable undead hero after Lich. So yeah, maybe they are completely aware of what each other player is doing. Now you've got that Footman on the other side. That can be a Staff of Teleportation on Mountain King, which sometimes you could do that, and you could go finish off some ghouls. We see the Mountain King even now moving towards the shop, presumably to get a staff or a boots or anything like that. But at the moment, just thinking, hey, let's use the Arcane Vault with a regeneration scroll, presumably.
It is a very early shop. Expansion is coming up. And Happy is not expanding again. Is he waiting for Lumber? I don't know if an Acolyte is still at the expansion. But it's a big investment into mercenaries.
Damn. Would you go double priest if you knew you're against Mountain King? Yeah, apparently. Of course he knows. He knows. So he does that. Normally I'm like, priest are for against Archmage and not for this situation. But he's just getting them extra healing, extra piercing damage. And this is going to give him level 3. There's a Stormbolt on the Berserker, but it's clap level 2. So it's not quite enough to get a kill. There's Scroll of the Beast.
Alrighty, Berserker must fall. He wants to take away that big piercing damage, but Starbuck losing a lot of health on his Footman, losing the Mountain King presumably, or at least the Town Portal, but the Cloak of Shadows to the rescue.
Does that prove that Happy didn't click the inventory of Mountain King? Because there is Cloak. Maybe he wouldn't want to invest on that.
Yeah, maybe he's not that perfect after all. But Starbuck is struggling once again. We got the level 2 Carrion Swarm up against whatever Starbuck is throwing at him. Being surrounded once more. Is that a Cloak of Shadows? There we go. Walks it off now. But can he kill him with the... Oh, sleep again! Carrion Swarm follow up?
Oh my god, he's TPing here. It's not a double click. He's bottom left. He's going to try to catch the Mountain King. It's a Carrion Swarm, but Carrion Swarm actually gets absorbed by up to 5 units and will do almost nothing to the units behind it, or nothing. And so there were enough tier 1 units there that stopped the Carrion Swarm from doing any damage to the Mountain King. Nonetheless, many of the small units are getting low. Happy's attack, furious with all these mercs, getting some extra healing to keep his Dreadlord in good shape. And you mentioned that Stormbolt level 2 that maybe could have helped him to contest the Dreadlord. Oh, wait, this is a run. That's a kill.
Ooh,
Wow.
let's go. He sticks it. The landing. There's no TP anymore. Dreadlord is unable. It's not a good fighter, really. It's not a Blade Master, not a Demon Hunter. And that's the first huge moment for Starbuck in this series.
3 Acolytes waiting for a gold mine to finish at 80%. But at the same time, this gold mine has been slowed down a lot. And even now, Happy is not sending away his units. He's still fighting, knowing that if he keeps the Mountain King low with a single ghoul on the Mountain King, he can prevent Clarity, Regen Scroll. So he's basically sacrificing a ghoul, or nearly sacrificing it, just to delay for longer. Oh, it's minus 170! That's a huge bolt by the priest. He just wasted 170 gold from Starbuck and he's still not healing. Go with the block!
Oh no, this Mountain King is not looking good. He can't really afford that loss. He needs that healing. Happy making the tavern owner really, really proud with lots and lots of revives recently. And Mountain King, GG, just taps out after 7 minutes.
Wow, Happy basically did Starbuck how Starbuck did Fortitude on Lost Temple, natural close position. He just did this big attack, albeit Happy here with a counter expansion coming up behind this. A fully mercenary camp, fueled attack. And he's doing that against the Mountain King. Mountain King burns hotter than an Archmage, but he burns out fast. If he can't get his health up and his mana back up, then he's not going to have as much defensive fighting power. And that's why an attack like this could work from Happy. I do think it came down a lot to micro and macro and everything. I don't think this is unstoppable when you're a Mountain King with footies. I think Starbuck was laboring under a misapprehension a little bit. He left the safety of his own side, walked into a Dreadlord, got a footman surrounded, Dreadlord level 3. Then he turned on Scroll of the Beast and went to fight into a Troll Berserker that was fully surrounded by ghouls and a full mana Dreadlord. I would dare say, if he were to do this exact game again, finds himself in the same situation, he would just stay put at his natural, maybe use like a 1 Peasant Scout or 1 Footman Scout, sees the Dreadlord coming with mercs, and then he can square up himself as well, call some militia, hire another merc, stand at his expansion, and don't use Stormbolt on a Berserker that's full life. He needs to clap as much as he can because that's the ability that he leveled up. He thought he was the shark, but he was actually the fish.
That's right. And the rod for Happy is something we didn't mention. Wand of Mana Stealing. What a great item in this situation.
True.
Both heroes are strength. Both have incredible abilities, but a very limited mana pool. So if you take mana away from your opponent and get it for yourself to get another spell in, especially like a sleep and a surround, then yeah, this is definitely helpful. And Happy is doing happy things. Speed running lower bracket round 2. This guy is on a rampage, 5-0 in the lower bracket, and now match points on Lost Temple.
Positionally, whose position do you like?
Well, Happy will want to expand as well, right? And that's going to be close position to Starbuck. Starbuck's Expo seems to be a bit safer, being so far away from Happy. But trust me, Happy will find a way to bring the fight to Starbuck.
Do you think ever Happy would want to expand in the southern 7 o'clock location?
Never. I don't know why.
Too far away?
I don't really know if he goes by reasons. Maybe a bit stubborn. He's gonna try to brute force it. We see a Crypt Lord again. No Dreadlord here. Wonder why he goes Dreadlord on Terenas and Crypt Lord on Lost Temple.
I think you explained it a bit. I think Dreadlord is more reliant on a level 3 timing, where Carrion Swarm becomes quite useful. And also Crypt Lord is better at skirmishing lots of little skirmish fights because you have so much bonus army and you have more strength and therefore more regen. So when you're constantly swashbuckling and skirmishing with an opponent, Crypt Lord. But when you have time to ramp up and prepare for like a 5-minute timing where you fight each other, Dreadlord. So Dreadlord doesn't want to fight at level 1, right? Or doesn't want to fight at level 2.1, ideally. And so maybe that's his reasoning. I think you kind of called that last game.
Grubby's so good that he's explaining my own explanations to me. God.
I'm regurgitating what you said. I'm trying to learn from you, and because you've been watching them a lot. So you said he always does that on Terenas.
Yeah. So Expansions are gonna be the name of the game once again, similar to Northern Isles, a little bit advantageous for Starbuck with the position, and he kinda needed that. He's been pretty lucky on Lost Temple with the spawns throughout the series. He got close positions against the Orc, he got the faraway expansion against the Undead, exactly as he wanted. But will Happy find a way to disrupt this again and get the 3-0 and eliminate Starbuck?
Starbuck finds Ring of Protection. Possibly the worst item for Archmage to get at this point against Undead. We see a Claws of Attack for the Cryptlord. I think Cryptlord would like Claws or Ring here, more than Gloves. So let's say he has the second best. There's only 3 item drops from that drop now, isn't there?
Gloves of Haste, Claws of Attack, Ring of Protection, yep.
Yeah, Superiority is not part of that drop table, and Circlet is gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Cryptlord, everything is kind of good. He's a heavy hitter, so he benefits from gloves. Claws is universally good.
Archmage around?
Ooh.
He just walked in. He got impaled. He got surrounded.
This is not Starbuck series. Oh, the head tilted to the side as well.
Yep, the smile, the grin, the head tilt. He's like, he knows he's stupid doing that. Like, let's see, what do you think would happen, right? You walk your Archmage into Happy without looking.
Yeah,
that is not only Archmage, nothing to save you. Will you or will you not get impale surrounded? Like, let's say if you had to put odds on it. Like, you will, right? It was not a valid move, and I think if you asked him on paper on a test, he would never say it's valid. But in 0-2 of this tournament, with the mental pressure that Happy puts on you, with the difficulty of it, being down 0-2, he did it. Now, Starbuck is trying to do like an early tech up. Probably going to be like Archmage, Blood Mage, Rifle, Priest push, if I had to guess. Could be wrong, right? But that's what I would guess. And because he has that close position. But then he loses his TP. Like, what a shame.
What a shame, but what a good move to follow that up with an Expo cancel that he got there with just the level 1 Water Elemental. Had to summon it twice. So all his mana is gone currently, but... Wait, it's a tech by Starbuck, by the way. He's not expanding on Lost Temple.
Yeah, he's 90% of the way through, and Happy just did another belated tech, but that's a 4-minute 30 tech. That's late, right? And it looks like Starbuck pretended to go for the Goblin Shop, which Starbuck went... Starbuck pretended to go for the Goblin Shop, but then he didn't. The Cryptlord actually did, has a staff, about 95 mana, if I had to guess, so he kind of can threaten the Archmage again. And there is no expansion again. There was a Ghoul Nerubian surround on a Footman, which got killed. Starbuck is just going to try to use Footman healing at the fountain while doing some damage against the Cryptlord. Notice that, by the way, Happy has always had presumably a Beetle on the natural expansion of... wow, nice slip there.
Yeah, he knows about that one base play. So the question for me is Starbuck rifle push to get it over with, or will we play inner fire rifles with tier 3?
Dude, I love that style. Hawk was doing that in 2020. And remember when Happy's donators persuaded him to play Human on Ladder, and that's the style he was picking as well, basically copying his countrymate?
Yeah, this is... I don't know if it's necessarily the best you could go for.
No, it's not.
It's probably
it's
not,
cool
but yeah, is that the tilt? Because this is the macro map and you play one base. Like, it's a bit counterintuitive.
Oh my god.
Again, surround, again. No TP. Oh no.
Wow. Let's see. Let's study Starbuck's face for any emotions about that. At the moment, nothing. Almost in a state of acceptance. Doesn't need to retilt because he's already in a state of tilt.
I think
Mountain King shows up.
He's really mad now that alcohol is banned in Dubai.
Hey, you know what? He gets this around. The Mountain King was zoned out. Of course. And he gets surrounded, but of course he can get out anytime he likes. At the moment, he can get out anytime he likes. In fact, he's not worried because of the priest. He's like, yeah, I'll just stay here. I like it. Overall, though, I don't know if this is a lot of hopium or copium. Starbuck is not up against an expansion. This was a late tech. This is not a 9-minute Ghoul Frenzy timing. At earliest, it would be like 10-minute 30 or 10:40 or something. So that's not too bad. And Starbuck, now unburdened by having to share experience with Archmage, can put all of that on the Mountain King.
True, that can be, like, if you have to rely on a Hail Mary, a Mountain King is one of the best heroes to force that. with Stormbolt, and the temple in the middle is relatively nice to creep with Footman. He got that healing, as you said. He's gonna get the Archmage back in no time because it was only level 2. And Happy still needs the tier 3. It's a long time off. I am a bit worried about Starbuck because there is no tier 3 nor an Expo, and he was flirting with an Expo, but ghouls are already on the way.
3 ghouls that are not going to be gathering lumber, not creeping, so the very act of not expanding is giving a little bit of opportunity cost loss to Happy, which is in favor of Starbuck. A lot of coping here because the double Archmage surround makes it look bad for Starbuck, and we'd love to see more maps in this series. Will Starbuck be able to do a pressure attack on the main base of Happy, the dreaded undead Necropolis, the fount of all their power, while Happy is fully defending that with the Crypt Lord level 3. Remains to be seen. Mountain King picks up the Mana Stone. I would imagine that Starbuck goes to the shop, picks up any useful items he can, heal scroll invul if he can't get a TP, and then pressures now. This is his power spike timing. Mountain King is level 3. He presumably will pick Stormbolt level 2. He sees there is no... oh my god, there's not even a Nerubian Tower. It's producing now. If he kills the Tomb of Relics, there will not be an Orb of Corruption.
Ooh, can also go for the Ziggurat here. Easy to kill. That won't keep Happy stuck, but at least weaken the Destroyer push. How many Footmen do we have? It was a big Congo line, so the army only now joins. And of course, Happy is right there for the defense, but we also got the level 3 Mountain King.
Oh! Heal scroll saved Crypt Lord.
Whoa, so close. Oh,
Priest block. He can get the Crypt Lord. He can absolutely get it. There's a Stormbolt level 2 with his name on it. That's the Crypt Lord dead.
Oh my god, Starbuck, is he actually coming back? You are actually now ahead of me, but I gladly take it. Can he clean this up? I'm at 25, 26, 27,
okay.
28.
I'm pausing. 30.
30, alright, perfect. Alright, the siege is on. Tier 3 about to be finished. No TP for Starbuck, but another Fiend falling to the Stormbolt.
Yeah, well, that's a really big pickup against the Crypt Lord. Where is Happy at right now? What is he producing? He's getting Frenzy. He is reproducing Crypt Lord. He's against a 48 population. Scratch that, 45. But new units are in production. No, wait, the rifle never died. Oh, there it is. There it is. And he gets that ghoul kill. Wow, I don't think Starbuck can lose this anymore. It looks so good for him. He's getting a lot of pressure. There are no spirit towers. There's very little resources here for Happy, who is not gathering a lot of gold, not gathering a lot of lumber. His acolytes can get attacked. Nice statue positioning, though. He's really trying to make this awkward and slow for Starbuck.
And what a perfect timing to kill that Crypt Lord. Like, it's always good to kill an enemy hero, but when you want to get that Lich out, he wanted to get that Lich out right when the Crypt Lord died. So the altar is occupied for 2 minutes. He can't send anything to the tavern to get it back because he's also strapped for cash. And now the Lich is delayed, and you talked about it. If you kill the Tome of Relics, there's no orb, and now there's no Tome of Relics, and the DK is also not looking too fresh anymore.
That's it. That's gotta be it. No Orb of Corruption. Crypt Lord comes out, but the DK dies. It is a Wheel of Fortune here. One hero dead, and it respawns. Next hero dies. Starbuck keeps the carousel of death going, bequeathing onto the undead a taste of their own medicine. Starbuck gets a win. That's gotta feel real good for him. Happy calls GG, and it is 1-2.
What? Timing! What a weird game! What a weird timing! What a weird development across these couple of minutes that we've seen. Like, total dominance by Happy early with that little blunder by getting surrounded. Archmage dies. Mountain King gets fueled by solo experience, and then he decides while he's on the way to tier 3, this is my moment to push, and this is my moment to destroy you.
Yeah, and it actually came down to that very moment post Town Portal, where losing Town Portal is bad, but then he walked at Happy again, and he got the cancel on the gold mine, and then Happy finally decided to tech. So that was the lowest and slowest tech he had so far. So even though he killed the Archmage again, which was not good for Starbuck at all, it's still undead without tier 3. And that meant 10-minute 40 timing. And this gave a Mountain King, who came out at a very normal timing because of the undelayed tech by Starbuck, a chance to get level 3. And this kind of shows how in Warcraft 3 sometimes you can lose your first hero. I remember many games against Lyn or against Fly where I or they would lose a level 3 Blade Master, but then actually come back because they would end up having a higher level Shadow because they are solo creeping it. So it is a bit of a cope, but it's also kind of true that every hero has their own power spike. Cryptlord is level 3 but didn't have a lot of mana. Happy crept a really big camp and was caught at the exact right time. He was just coming back with Starbuck, pushing in. So if you retread those steps and you go back in time and you realize I'm giving away the middle to human, he's going to come with his Mountain King soon, I'm sure Happy knew what was coming, would he still do everything the same way? Imagine the amount of time that Happy bought with just a DK, 3 ghouls and 2 statues with his CL dead. What if all that was spent with his CL behind his Halls of the Dead? Right? Of course, you can't retrace your steps exactly, but like, would he still have finished that entire camp? Or maybe he'll take the Rock Golem, scout to see if Mountain King is coming soon, and then try to hide in his base, and then who knows what would have happened.
We'll see what happens now. I love the fighting spirit in Starbuck. It's not that easy. You know you're up against Happy where you have a bad track record anyway because he's that dominant in the scene. You start the series 0-2 after that gruesome loss versus 40. And then you don't have the perfect start on Lost Temple, but you still try absolutely everything to stay in this match, to stay in that map, to stay in this tournament. And hopefully this is the little bit of momentum that Starbuck needs to kind of start to believe in himself now, because he needs it. Tide Hunters, one of my favorite maps in this matchup. I hope it's going to be about expansions again, and then we see the cancel culture of Archmage Water Elemental versus Ghouls in full effect.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most well-balanced maps. Like, no one really seems to hate this one too much. It kind of seems okay for every matchup. Not quite as epic as Twisted Meadows, but kind of like a slightly simpler, more vanilla version of Twisted, as in the map that you often see will decide a series, because it is not like blatantly in favor of one race or another. Love this map as well. We're going to see an Archmage against a Cryptlord, which is a reflection of the last map as well, but now without any positional luck, right? Starbuck won the lottery of positional luck last game, in game number 3 on Lost Temple, where he had the close position on Happy's Natural. This time, it's going to be a lot more predictable.
Yeah, also more predictable compared to like a Twisted, because the item roulette is not that strong, but I say that and I see Starbuck is going for the lab, which is, I think, a really, really good move against Undead on this map, because you know that the Cryptlord is going to be busy. He has to creep a little bit. He will expand as fast as possible. So there's nothing that can harass you here at the lab. And this is one of the best items on the map. It is a guaranteed level 2. And this is the perfect start for Starbuck, depending on the item.
What's it going to be? Rope of the Magi would be the best. Actually, he's going to be sad that he didn't pick it up, then summoned the Water Elemental. It's going to cost him a little bit of mana. But overall, I think that's the best item you can get on Archmage.
Yeah, plus like a Subi Mask would also be fantastic, but Robe of the Magi is more mana for more Water Elementals and more damage. So yeah, you will never, ever, ever complain about that. Same can be said about the Claws. So how aggressive can Starbuck...
You can get Claws plus 8 there?
No, the Claws for Happy, I mean.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, Archmage could get a lot of good items there, like you said. Sobi Mask, Rope of the Magi, Devotion Aura, and also Scourge Bone Chimes are really good for the early game. But this is going to allow him to do a lot of damage in the main base. He's actually Militia creeping another camp. He's going to have an Archmage level 3 at 3 minute 30 in the base of Happy, who is fast teching and not fast expanding.
Ooh, and Starbuck does the same. No human expo. He's just going straight into the base. I mean, it worked perfectly on Lost Temple, so why not just continue with that?
Is expansion dead in this meta? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I mean, it certainly looks like it. It's the first time we see Happy in this matchup on this LAN, and we were all thinking like, are the top undeads and top humans holding back strategies? Because in the show matches early this week, it was just expansion all the way. Now it's not. It is all out aggression and fast tech. So will Happy lose an Acolyte here, and does he have to cancel the tech?
So far, he hasn't lost any. There's no one better in the world than him at keeping Acolytes alive against such a pressure. And it looks like one may actually die. It's very low. It's going to need about 2-3 hits from a ranged unit. It is slipping away. Archmage is going to move in. There is Impale Threat, and that's going to be 1 kill. All right, first kill. And this is Necropolis halfway. A lot of lost mining time as well. Meanwhile, Blacksmith, tier 2, on the way for Starbuck. I really like the position he's playing from here for him.
It's really, really cool. And also that fast tech, I don't think it hurts him too much. If Happy decides to brute force expansion, he could still follow it up with the rifle mortar push that we've seen sometimes by 40. Oh, I was so worried about that
mortars as well, like aggressive workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you start with rifles, and then you build a vault, and then you build a workshop, right?
Exactly, the workshop at the enemy expo, basically.
Sure, but now look at Happy's resources, bro. 3 acolytes, 6 ghouls, 110 lumber. All he has is a Crypt Lord and a Dream. That's it. Whereas Starbuck, yes, he lost Footman. We saw that. Their cannon fodder. But his economy is 100% untouched. Mountain King, 5 minute 20. That's an early Mountain King. That's like a double farm timing Mountain King, usually. Maybe 10 seconds later than that. It probably was a 3 farm, to be honest. Now, he is giving away a lot of XP. This is another Water Elemental. I think Water Elemental level 2 gives like 60 experience or something. 58, actually. 58 XP. So that's a lot. Oh! Okay, he got it. No, I was thinking the whole of the story.
Me too, man. And yeah, while the Mountain King is early, that Graveyard is pretty late. So that is a Slaughterhouse delayed. Everything is delayed because of that lost income. He can also not go for a fast tech because he has to rebuild the Acolytes. The Halls of the Dead is occupied. But Happy, does he have the right idea to go for a creep jack? No, not really.
He wants to get that Ogre Mage level 5. So now Happy is thinking, my lumber economy is screwed. My gold economy is screwed. No expansion. My tech is slow. Graveyard is slow. It's raining outside. Bliat. But then throughout all of that, he's like, I got one potential win condition. Crypt Lord, level 5. And so he's working on high impact items. He's working on CL level 4, CL level 5. Even if he's getting swarmed by this early attack, if he can get Crypt Lord level 5 with Impale level 3, I think that's his win condition.
I think so too. Usually the Crypt Lord falls off a little bit in the late game if we have a regular meta match, because we see so many Griffins and so much air, like Gyros can also be added. And then of course Impale doesn't do anything against them, but here, when you're facing rifles, that Impale is a weapon of mass destruction. Same for the ghouls, and that's a surround.
If he waits a second longer, Impale comes and it may reach the lethal point. Starbuck wasn't going to throw what he believes is a very good position in the game right now. Now, Starbuck, not quite thinking about all-in Workshop Rush. He's actually moving to expand. And this is a little risky, because this threatens for him to lose his power spike that he's currently working on. Now, this is not a level 3 Mountain King power spike. It is a I have tech units and you don't have tech units power spike. So he's going to expand, apply pressure, but instead of reaching 50 population and only needing to defend 1 base, he's going to have to potentially defend 2 bases against beetle run-bys if they happen. Right now, there are no beetle run-bys happening.
While you're speaking of spikes and beetles, he got Spike Carapace level 1 and Beetles level 1. Did he misclick?
I don't know. Ooh. Oh, he thinks beetles are just for scouting now, and he thinks that they will just feed experience against upgraded priests? Question mark?
Maybe. I mean, they would be pretty good against rifles. They would be horrible against priests, of course, but that Impale is sugar. We get more and more kills on both sides, man. This is brutal. Coil saves the other one. We have more Impale because we love that mana potion, but Archmage also grinding quite nicely.
So there you see, Happy made Crypt Lord to be his win condition. It's now level 4.5. Every Impale was 1 or multiple units killed. These are low-value ghouls with 120 gold trading out for 215 gold, 30 lumber rifles. Having said that, Happy doesn't have a really big army. He doesn't have a lot of power left once the mana is gone. But every Impale was a kill that was sick. Now there's a double wand of negation passed over to skip the 5-second cooldown. There's another Impale that's a water elemental kill that's 58 experience being shared. Surround on the rifle, not quite pulling off. And now the Archmage, Starbuck. Man, he almost got surrounded. There's another Impale that's going to be the rifle kill.
He is trading a lot of units here on the back of this expansion that is up and running. That was super risky, running across the map with no TP, no invul really, nothing that can save him, and flying so close to the sun with the threat of being surrounded. Happy also spending all his mana, nice, sending the rifle into the creep, so no extra XP. But that Crypt Lord is getting dangerously close to 5.
Double statues to give mana to Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord is completely full life. And then you try to imagine in your head what it would take for Starbuck to kill the Crypt Lord. Like, it's not going to happen, right? He does not have the damage now, nor will he have the damage soon to ever threaten that Crypt Lord. So you've got a Crypt Lord that can spend a lot of mana to just impale over and over and over. Lich is coming out. It's going to be an Orb of Corruption. Starbuck will have the bigger army, but his Mountain King is only level 2. And there's no creeps left around for Starbuck. You've got the shitty little Murloc camp to his north, and then the red spot, which might be a bridge too far with an impending happy push. So what is Starbuck going to do? Creep this Sea Elemental level 2 and then the 2 Murloc camps? That's level 2.8 the most for Mountain King if he solo creeps it. So Starbuck is going to be maybe 58 population against Happy, who admittedly is very low on supply. But Happy is going to have a Crypt Lord level 5, which is going to be insane. I just don't know. Oh yeah, Happy is also aware of the expansion.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I see a red dot now. So the bottom of this map has a lot of XP and 3 consumables to offer for Happy, if he's able to consume that all. That would be amazing for an upcoming fight, but supply-wise, he's far down. Of course, tech-wise, he's ahead. But with rifles, you can creep very, very easy, especially against the granite golems like this. So this is solo experience Mountain King. That's a big cam and a great item.
Claws plus 12. I mean, I think Endurance would probably be the best. Unholy, second best. Brilliance is, of course, just money. Drums would have been okay. And then you've got the 5-5 stat items where you get 5 agility, 5 strength on Mountain King. Could be okay with Bash and being a strength hero. Overall, yeah, Claws plus 12. He can put it on the Archmage. He does. Archmage only has TP, no invul. So, yeah, we got a push coming here. 62 versus 43. That's a 15 pop advantage, but he's literally down a lot on XP. I don't like this position at all for Starbuck. I think he's going to get wrecked by spells. It's not quite critical mass of army yet, but let's see how it goes, Neo.
And we got 2-3 ghouls falling in very quick succession, but does he have enough against these destroyers? One of them has mana, the other does not. He wants this Lich dead, and the Archmage is definitely a help. Repositions the statue. Lich in trouble. Coil to the rescue.
He kills a destroyer, actually, by distracting Focus Fire on the Lich. He kills a destroyer because Happy was fully focusing on saving his Lich. Then the Stormbolt will actually finish off the Lich. It seems like I may have overestimated the value of undead heroes. That's the surround on the Crypt Lord. He does have another coil to try and save it. There is a belt on him. He has got spiked carapace, but if Starbuck closes the surround, that's a bolt! That's a kill!
Oh my god, Starbuck is coming back. 2 maps back to back. 30 food by Happy only. This is nothing. Lich will be back in no time, but he also has to resurrect the Crypt Lord. What the hell is happening, Grubby? He gets rid of the Tome of Relics, and that was the downfall for Happy on Lost Temple, and it is the downfall on Tide Hunters. We go map 5.
Oh, don't underestimate a much, much larger human army. I mean, we've all seen Happy do some insane things with just heroes against a larger army. I definitely think Fear Factor played a small part in my overestimating what he could do with that army there. Crypt Lord level 5, but can you blame me? We've seen him do it so many times. But Starbuck, he focused the Lich. Relatively a low health target means there's not a lot of a buffer between it taking damage and the coil needing to come in. DK, crucially, was not level 3 yet. So Starbuck's amazing game plan saw him through to the victory. He did an amazing economic destabilization, not even expanding at all, just pressuring, doing a TH000 style of human versus orc anno 2007, 2008, where you do the super fast Archmage creep. He gets level 3 Archmage at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It only takes him 90 seconds to be Archmage 3 on the other side of the map. That's insane. That's something orcs could only ever dream of.
That's right.
Then he starts summoning water elementals. Happy once again greeted, by the way. He did not get Nerubian Tower, right? He made it in he made it only in reaction to pressure. I guarantee you, almost, that Happy will make a Nerubian without all this, I'll make a ziggurat at my expo and see what happens and I can go this way or that way. He's gonna have to take this one base push seriously and get a Nerubian first.
Man. Starbuck putting Happy out of his comfort zone. He's been playing hundreds and hundreds of maps versus 40 versus Sock with Archmage expansion, cancels back and forth. But no, just don't expand. Just make the game different. And then Happy makes imperfect decisions here and there. If you tell me that Happy is facing elimination, is one map from elimination on day 2 of a LAN, it's unheard of almost. Happy could be eliminated right here.
It would be really insane and a kind of a change of the world order here in the Western Euro, Eastern Euro scene, where Happy has just, I mean, he has been the #1 player in the world. Maybe sometimes Lin overtaking him on the elo and then Fortitude, but it's those 3 guys. Starbuck is not supposed to be in that list, but today he may prove otherwise. And his final build, no way.
No way. Concealed Hill, neutral playground, Pally Rifle.
Wow. And is this some big brain play with, you know, I'm going to one base play, so you should go back to old meta, DK first, and then I'm going to mind game that and actually go Pala Rifle? Or is it still just going to be Crypt Lord?
It should be Crypt Lord. I mean, we've seen more Tet Fiends, but
it's Death Knight.
It
Dude,
is.
I knew it.
What?
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Happy keeps getting stuck with this kind of unagile Crypt Lord with a fake expo into Archmage solo base push. What else? Like, Undead started expanding. Why? Because Sacrificial Skull became purchasable without Graveyard because of a balance patch in 2018, right? Happy was slow to adapt. All the other European Undeads that had less mechanical skill than him, they were deeply going into expansion, you know? Me on my off race, Side, Krav, Ente, everyone, right? Everyone is doing expansions except Happy. Finally, Happy began to believe in expansion and, of course, became the best at it. And now he's Crypt Lording and Dread Lording, etc. Lich first, right? Lich first, which some players have always been doing. Like, what's the Canadian player called with the bandana?
Canadian player with the bandana?
Canadian.
Insup, yeah.
He's always Lich firsting, right? But Happy is someone that plays standard. But then finally he realized, oh, this is the new standard. So now he's always doing it. But in the past, Happy is always playing DK 1 base against Human. Because that's all that Undead could do. And Undead with DK first was stronger than Human in the matchup when Human is trying to play 1 base rifles. So because he's been facing Archmage rifles, he decided to go Death Knight now and not expand. And he's going to do a better job of saving Acolytes because now he has Coil. And as much as I thought that's coming, Starbuck, I think, saw that coming too. And so he goes for Pala Rifle, which, as you mentioned very correctly an hour ago, you wouldn't go Pala Rifle because of the threat of Crypt Lord. But because of the style of the past few games in the best of 5, he has eliminated the desire for Crypt Lord expansion. And so now Paladin Rifle is suddenly open.
It is. It is a little bit of a silver lining for Happy that he goes DK Ghouls and not Tet Fiends. Like, Tet Fiends was a little bit hype recently, especially with 1-2-0 bringing it back. If he goes Fiends here, I think he's dead. Like, Pally is just so good against it. With Ghouls, at least he can swarm the slow army of Starbuck, because that's really the downside of Pally Rifles, right? It has a lot of strong suits. You got so much healing, you got armor, you will add a Blood Mage later for mana sustain, but you are damn slow.
Yeah. What are the 2 weaknesses of Pala Rifle? Like you said, you're slow, so you can get hit and ran by fast units. Your peasants can be abused. And the second one is someone can do a tier 1 expansion. If you ever would go Pala Rifle against Elf, which you wouldn't, you want to have to force to move across the map at level 1 and try to cancel some Tree of Life. Undead, Crypt Lord expansion, Pala Rifle has a tough time. The Rubian Tower comes up, Ghoul Beetle will surround your rifles. So by not facing an expansion, Pala Rifle's happy. And now the greatest threat is Peasant Harass. And it looks like Happy is considering Creepjacks. He's looking in places, but not finding Starbuck yet, which is a little unusual, I must say. Normally Happy is the guy that always knows where you are, and his DK is kind of in the wrong spot, which means Pala is getting a camp, and there should be a Death Knight here, but there isn't.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side of the map, really. While an Acolyte was in the base, he gets a double confirmation now, but it's a bit too late already. Like, we have the level 3 Paladin, that's the level 2 Holy Light, that's a lot of healing, and that's, of course, also a great nuke against the Undead heroes.
It sure is. Now we see the coil harass coming in with skeletons and Death Knight. Death Knight getting one coil kill there, just kind of destabilizing Starbuck. What you should know, guys watching, girls watching, is there's not a lot of peasants and lumber redundancy in this build. It's a pretty clean, tight build where you go tech up with 8 peasants and you don't really want to lose a lot of them. He's lost 2 now? 3, actually? Wait. Yeah, he's lost 3. He's supposed to be 13 peasants. He has 10. So with 3 peasants down, he's going to have to remake those. He gets to tier 2, he makes Blood Mage, and that's pretty much all he can do. That means no immediate Sanctum. It's just Rifle, Blood Mage for now. But on the flip side, that's pretty much all you need to apply pressure.
That's right. And to remedy this, he's going for a lumber mill with upgrades that will help in the long run while keep the number of peasants low so you can optimize your army a little bit more. This is a little scary as he's running into the base. He seems really confident even without the Blood Mage here to go for this push. The damage output, the stutter stepping is good actually. Now a little bit confused. So many ghouls in the mix and one of them already down. Another coil. That was the last coil.
Whoa.
And Bucky is getting more kills.
Oh my god, that's 4 consecutive surround fails by Happy. Happy is falling apart. He's unthreading at the seam. He's lost several ghouls, killed not a single rifle, and wasted or used all of his coils to try and save ghouls as he could. He did this aggressive move out in order to keep away pressure from his Tomb of Relics, and uncharacteristically was unable to get surround several times in a row. But here's a mana pot. He's going to Coil Nova a rifle. He knows exactly how much damage that's going to do against any rifles. The next Coil Nova will get a kill as well, perhaps on a rifle here in the middle that we're looking at. There it is. That's 2 rifles down. That's all he can kill for now. And meanwhile, ghouls are getting attacked, but Starbuck has mostly been defensively microing and not getting a lot of his own kills. But with mana gone, at the moment, he's not going to be losing any more rifles. So what's coming up behind this? One peasant has been remade by Starbuck, but he's not going overboard. Instead, using advanced lumber harvesting to make up some of the deficit. Blood Mage just finished, and he's got rifles coming out by the double. Long rifle upgrade is finished, and he's getting his first black gunpowder upgrade. He almost has enough resources for Arcane Sanctum, and the question is, will he? Is that part of this build? I would imagine it is. But let's see how it goes. And where's Happy going to be? Is his tier 3 going to be finished? Yes, so he will have Orb of Corruption.
Okay, 6-6-6 fight. I think when you attack like this with the Pally Rifle Army, you kind of... you're totally fine with losing your town portal. Like, you attack, you slow the enemy down, and then you rebuild without the town portal. But he didn't even lose that TP. That was a pretty efficient trade, I would say. Close to level 2... Devotion Aura, and now the Blood Mage is here and takes that mana away, and Undead is relying on mana probably more than any other race.
Notice how Happy is not repairing this, because he knows it's a Holy Light and 2 rifle attacks away from killing an Acolyte every single time. He doesn't want to have to suffer that. So he probably queued up as many statues as he could, which by the way is 0. Where he does not have any statues queued up. Does that also mean no Destroyer upgrade? Yeah, but I guess he doesn't really need Destroyers against this.
Okay. Can he control this game? Can he keep the Lich from creeping? This also means Happy can't go to the Tavern for a Dark Ranger for Silence. He's trying now. Blood Mage a bit exposed here. Dark Ranger is not available. He doesn't have the gold really. Massive Nova, but the splits by Starbuck are great.
That's a full channel Siphon on the Death Knight. Happy tried to go out of range and gave up halfway because he was a little tired. And he just got the full Siphon missing there. Ghouls are getting target fired. Well, there's Devotion level 2. There's another Holy Light. Which one is he gonna pick? He's gonna pick the highest health rifle that has 400 health missing, knowing that that one is being able to use it the most. There's a full Siphon on the Lich. There's no more mana. Nice surround there on the Rifleman, but it's going to be able to get away. There's a Siphon on the Paladin. He's staying in range just long enough to get another Holy Light in. We look at the production meanwhile. Castle upgrade for Starbuck, 20%.
This looking so good. Are we witnessing history here, Grubby? Is Happy going to be eliminated in the round of 6? Supply is looking amazing. 20 food ahead. Blood Mage level 1.6. Paladin super good as well. Like, this is looking so stable.
And he kills his statue with body blocks. The only hope Happy has is to try and deny it against the creeps. And that will actually work. So that's a little bit of a win. That's 60 experience. That does not go to the Paladin and the Blood Mage. But every time that Starbuck is forcing these ghouls to fight, lumber deficit right? The ghouls are dying. They only have 320 health. He's killing rifles, yes, but Starbuck will just make more. And the siphons are giving mana control to much the same level as what statues normally accord to the undead. He's attacking the crypt now. What will come out after crypt is dead? Abominations? Those slow lumbering fools? We've got one coil here in the chamber for Happy, and that's about it. There's a silence only on the Blood Mage just to stop the siphon. Full defensive micro by Starbuck in order to try and get away from this fight.
Starbuck's micro against the surround is so good. He always finds a way out. Up until now, he's still got that town portal. Gotta make sure that the Blood Mage survives. Maybe passing that town portal, but no! Happy the Executioner, guillotine snaps. The Blood Mage is dead. Gonna be back in no time though, as it's only a level 1 hero, and we start that kiting game again.
He tried to give the town portal, but the ghouls were too loosely surrounded on the Blood Mage, so he couldn't quite give it. It's not that big of a disaster. He's killing a lot of ghouls actually while kiting away. Actually has another Holy Light in the chamber. Now thinking of doing a surround on the Lich. There is a coil, but he just kind of wants to have some grip on the situation. The surround is clean!
No
he
way!
Cleaned it like a fisherman cleans a fish. So nice, and he has another Holy Light, but there is a silence, so he's gonna be able to actually take down the Lich!
No
Dude!
way. Starbuck, are you doing this? Can I remind everybody that Starbuck was down 0-2 after 12 minutes in this series, and now we're in a final map, and Starbuck has a 16 food lead and a close to level 5 Pally. There's no Banshees, there's no Curse, there's no Anti-Magic, there is nothing of significance of Happy on the map right now. Starbuck has to slip, like, unlike anything I've seen from him in the past 2 years, for him to lose this.
Yeah, he's been real clean. Normally, Happy is the one that gets the surround like that. This was like a multi micro adjustment surround, vying for positional control, where you keep shifting little units and you are in tune with the matrix. You are in tune with the way that the engine responds. It listens to you like it's an extension of yourself. And Starbuck is in that zone. It's all because he didn't say GG well played when he actually lost the map against Happy. Oh, he killed his own Blood Mage. All right, it's level 1, it's fine. Mountain King is out. He's still got a second hero.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And the Blood Mage is about to be level 2, and then we're gonna see Banish, Bold, Holy Light on undead heroes. The strongest nuke in the game. A lot of people talk about Coil Nova, but have you seen a Banish, Bold, Holy Light? We also have a Griffin Aviary up, by the way, so these abominations that we see on the field now can be countered by Griffins now.
Ogre is the big prize here. They are both vying for it. See a Stormbolt there on the Death Knight.
History
nice
in the
target
making.
fire.
The Ogre.
Nice blocks.
The Ogre is also involved. It's so weird.
I think the trolls are killing a rifle. They killed a rifle.
Tournament life on the line for both of these players. It's a micro battle for what? 6 minutes? 7 minutes now? They just don't stop fighting anymore. Starbuck is pulling back just a little bit, and then he can clean up the red spot potentially.
He's gonna take the high ground. I don't think he's gonna start the camp. Would be crazy. There is a Staff of Sanctuary on the Mountain King. Ideally, that should be on someone else than the MK. There's the Siphon on the Dark Ranger. He's actually trying to stay out of range of silence with his Paladin. This is Death Knight-like behavior, right? Is Paladin turning into a Death Knight? This is how undeads learn to control their main hero because of Hexstorm Focus Fire. Paladin was like on the other screen. He didn't want to get silenced on his Paladin again, so that Happy can take aim and kill something with certainty.
Okay, dust settles a little bit. Happy is fighting back in the supply department due to abominations. Disease Cloud not being spread too much. We have not a single priest, by the way, so if he gets in range and spreads that Disease Cloud, it's gonna be hard to heal up against it, but we get a full transition with a second Aviary, and now Starbuck feels confident enough to go for that red spot. Potentially another wonderful item, maybe movement speed! You talked about it on Tide Hunters. Ding, ding, ding! Jackpot for Bucky.
And the level of comfort he shows taking this camp is very telling. He actually moved his Paladin away to not XP share the 120 XP drop on the Ogre Lord level 7 there. You wouldn't do that if you feel very, very scared that you're going to mess up and someone's going to come in and Coil Nova and kill your shit. So Starbuck, he's vibing right now. He's got Storm Hammers prepared. He's got a pretty decent lumber economy. 2 attack upgrades on his rifles. 1 armor on the rifles, which also shares with Griffins. He's saving up on 50 population. everything is going as he wants. And he knows he's facing abominations. There's like 2 bombs, 6 ghouls. Destroyer upgrade is coming, but that's about it. And there's no Fiend or Gargoyles yet. And what item is that? Let's see. Oh, Ring of the Archmagi, pretty damn respectable. So he's gonna have Griffins. He started production, 1 farm, 2 Griffins. So basically, he will have 4 Griffins at 17 minutes. And will that be when he's gonna do a timing attack? Because it looks like he cannot expand off of this, some kind of weird 17-minute expansion. He doesn't really have the resources for it. So it's most likely 4 Griffins and go fight. And it should be really good because it seems kind of like a semi-surprise for Happy.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, like, how do you counter Griffins with A-bombs and ghouls? This is not going to be easy. And look at the level scrubby. 5 on the Paladin, 3 on the Blood Mage, so close to level 2 Stormbolt as well. These undead heroes are gonna get eliminated. Creepjack! Oh, Happy wakes up the creep. Starbuck is right there. This could be the moment. Lich is getting a coil. Last second save. Pally has to go to the other side of the screen again to just be eliminated from that. Silence! Staff is up there as Happy tried to turn the nuke around. Big item up for grabs with a consumable, potentially a mana potion, but Rock Golem's still alive. Here are the Griffins!
So far, pretty good fight for Happy. He's trying to kill some rifles with his melee. Griffins are correctly focusing abominations. They should actually focus ghouls, then abominations, normally. Paladin trying to stay away. Blood Mage is now potentially exposed because Holy Light is on cooldown. Griffin got saved. Very nice micro by Starbuck. He's going to be able to Holy Light that Griffin. Keeps his Paladin as much away as possible. And as much as the fight is really scary at the start, Blood Mage has finished sucking all the undead heroes empty of mana. There's gonna be a Holy Light on the Lich! On 1 HP! Instead of saving 2 of his rifles that were 1 HP, he decided to prioritize attacking the Lich. Does not get paid off for it, but will be pushing the Lich away, which earns him the Spoils of War, which is this Rock Golem camp, which is 2 of the remaining camps on the map. This was the contested camp, and then now he can take this, and then he can take the top left as well, which are the 2 biggest camps left, and then he's gonna have like what, level 5, 4, 3.5. Really, really solid for Starbuck, but he did lose more units in that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did lose a couple of rifles, but it's kind of similar to when they contested the red spot in the middle. Like, this is worn out fight, and it's this tug of war about the reward. And Starbuck again is able to drive Happy back, who lost the TP in 1 base. You really don't want to give up a TP. It's so expensive.
True.
And he gets, what did he get? Scroll of the Beast. Yo!
Not that good.
Not that good, you think?
I mean, it's 2 destroyers, so you use it.
True. Yeah,
80%
okay, yeah.
gets removed.
Yeah, alright.
Now, look at what Happy is doing. Expunge Corpses and Temple of the Damned.
Oh, wow. This is similar to what they played last BetBoom against 40 on Tidehunters. Necros are insane versus Griffins if you get to Cripple, because there is no Dispel at the moment, and Cripple is crazy damage mitigation.
That's
but it's Banshees.
True. Oh, huh? Then why does he have Expunge Corpses? Oh, it's a misclick.
Maybe?
Sometimes I upgrade Expunge Corpses and then start a statue when I'm supply blocked, and then I cancel the Expunge. Because in Warcraft 3, unlike in SC2 or Age of Empires, you can't start a unit when you're max supply. And so that's just a way to say, once my supply is unblocked, it'll start automatically. Maybe he did that and he forgot to cancel it. Wait, what is that?
Oh, a bit of a bait, maybe. That Ring of Regen. D-tier item, according to Hawk.
What was that?
Ring of Regen.
D-tier? We used to think so back in 2005, but then everyone started realizing how good it actually was. I think partially because of the influence of Dota. I mean, we were always greedy. We want to sell items and stuff, but I think at least from 2007, 8, people start realizing how good this is on melee heroes.
I realized this when you were at Nostalgia Battlefield and Joshi Shi for your team had this item on the Warden on Echo Isles. I'll never forget that. Dude,
he carried that tournament so hard.
He carried you so hard.
Yeah. Did you know that he came to me afterwards and he said, hey, Grubby, about the prize money distribution, I think it should be not equal. Deserved. You know, I said, okay, I think that's reasonable. Because, you know, I won 1 map, he won like, what, 5?
Yeah.
He said he wanted a bit bigger share of it. I said, okay, fair enough.
Fair.
I was thinking of offering it when.
But bold move to approach you with that. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
He's
always
pretty
been a bit
bold,
cocky.
but also like it's straight speaking, you know. Like if that's important to him and he thinks that's fair and he doesn't want to grow resentment and he worked his ass off, sure enough, it's fair, you know.
We have an expansion up for Starbuck. 60 food on both sides. Banshee's coming. Curse, really good. Anti-magic, really good. Plus Gargoyles. Is Happy finding the answer, and is Starbuck giving him the time? Happy will be out of gold very soon. Is that the all-in attack coming after selling most of his buildings?
Yeah, this is one of those where Happy makes another ziggurat. He's gonna unsummon. Well, probably not his crypt statue, his crypt slaughterhouse, is he? He's gonna unsummon altar for sure.
Yeah, he needs more ziggurats first and foremost, so he can't sell them yet.
A lot of heal scrolls for Starbuck. He has invested in the coming onslaught. What is coming his way? 2 heal scrolls, kept his scroll of the beast, 2 invulnerability potions, though nothing on Mountain King. He has double arcane tower. He's standing in this kind of safe position. Actually passes over the circlet to the Mountain King. I think that makes sense because the Mountain King doesn't have invul, so he wants to be more protected. This is not going to be an easy fight for either player to micro.
True that. And can you keep your nerves together? Happy is expanding at the back of this. Happy has been in this situation many, many times, especially in the rivalry versus Foggy. He is losing momentum.
Recoil.
He's down on that map, but he finds that way back. That makes him the standout player that he is today. And he's positioning between the production and the base.
Oh, this is very telling, you know. That first coil that flies desynchronized doesn't get a rifle. Then this first Holy Light Stormbolt gets a kill. Such a strong start for Starbuck because usually Happy wins most fights in the first second.
True that. Nice play by Starbuck so far, but now the rifles are falling, and every dead rifle is a new skeleton, which is potentially more mana for the Lich. Rifles again in a bit of trouble here, but Starbuck has the way bigger army, now Scroll of the Beast. He is feeding the Destroyers, as you said.
He dodged the Devourer on some of the units. He did a scroll and then an immediate dodge. There's many rifles dying though, and I don't see a lot of units dying for Undead here. He killed the Banshees. Blood Mage dropping real low. Does have invulnerability. Staying cool. Is not using it. He's going to try to use a Holy Light again. He's going to keep his finger over the invulnerability potion in case he gets silenced. Not happening. Now he's targeting Gargoyles. Recognizing Gargoyles. Oh, there's the Griffins! He forgot completely about the Griffins, or he kept them away until such time as the Gargs are dead.
The Gargs are dead indeed. Now can he get a hero focus in? The Blood Mage did a wonderful job. He needs another Banish, he needs another Holy Light, and the Griffins are of course on top of that as well. Rifles sit on the ground, Destroyers are about to fall. Such a neck-and-neck fight, but a 20 food lead for Bucky. If he takes out the Destroyer, that's a lot! GG! Bucky did it! History in Dubai! He can't believe it himself! He can't believe it himself! Reverse sweep against the Emperor! It feels like an era is over! Happy is dead in Dubai! And Starbuck is alive!
Giga Chat walk? You see that Giga Chat walk? His arms are just a little wider than they need to be.
Yep! This guy feels 10 meters tall right now. Happy dominated every Rara, the DreamHack, everything he attended. Before this tournament, he went to a 20-0 win streak, won Xiao Mao Cup without dropping a map. And here he is, round of 6 elimination.
Zoomer!
He doesn't use social media, huh? That's what he said before. Starbuck, round of 4 over Happy.
Мои поздравления, Starbuck. Я не знаю, как ты это делаешь, но ты выиграл сейчас топ-1 игрока планеты. Какие твои ощущения, эмоции? Вообще расскажи нам об этом матче. Что ты сейчас чувствуешь?
Congratulations on your victory. You beat now one of the best players in the world. I don't know how to do it, but please explain your emotions and what do you feel now?
Right now I'm only thinking, is this real life?
Сейчас я думаю, это реальная ли жизнь?
Да, это реальная жизнь, и твоя последняя карта, это стратегия через паладина, через рифлеров. Что-то невероятное. Какой момент ты это придумал, и было ли это просто вот в моменте перед картой, или это была стратегия у тебя изначально, задумка, которую ты хотел реализовать, возможно?
Your last map, your strategies through Paladin. How did you make it up? Did you make it up during the game or before the game? So tell us your secrets. How did it come to your mind?
I just got the thought in my head, like intuition, and usually my intuition is never wrong. And also, I guess it's because the 2 games that I won, I pushed him on 1 base, so he was like, okay, I don't want to lose another game versus 1 base, so I'm going to play DK Ghouls, so the strategy that he played. So I was like, okay, maybe, Pala Rifle could be the dream build here on that map.
Он говорит то, что он использовал свою интуицию, которая ему очень часто помогает, и в 2 картах, когда он проиграл, он сказал, я не хочу пользоваться этой тактикой, чтобы опять проиграть, и поэтому это помогло ему выиграть последнюю карту.
Как ты считаешь вообще, в чем твой секрет, в чем твоя сильная сторона? В твоем каком-то микроконтроле героев и юнитов? Или в том, что ты используешь какие-то давно забытые стратегии, про которые никто не помнит, но у тебя ты их раз за разом показываешь, просто из-за того, что у тебя, я не знаю, огромные какие-то яйца, ты на уверенности это делаешь, и люди к этому не готовы. В чем твой секрет?
Okay, tell us about your secret that you tell us about your microcontrol, or you use some strategies that people forgot already, or you have something special on your mind that you use and nobody knows that helps you to win.
Well, I have a lot of strategy experience since I played both Starcraft and Warcraft for a long time. And my secret is, I guess, I just enjoy playing and try to, enjoy the moment and, yeah.
Особенно нет таких секретов. Мой секрет в том, что мне очень нравится играть, у меня есть свои стратегии, я просто наслаждаюсь моментом, и игра как бы это мое все.
Как так получается? Ты практически обыграл лучшего игрока на хьюманах за орков, потом обыграл лучшего андеда за уже хьюманов. Есть ли у тебя в твоем тайнике, возможно, может быть, ты просто следующую игру сыграешь на андедах и тоже выиграешь? Как ты считаешь? Можешь ты такое продемонстрировать нам?
You almost beat with the orcs. Now you win with the humans. Maybe the next game you show us something special with undead or something
You
else.
want to see my undead?
Yes, I want.
Maybe next Dubai 3.
Хорошо, вот ты сейчас выиграл, ты выиграл Хэппи. Какая цель у тебя на этот турнир? Ты понимаешь, что ты можешь стать чемпионом этого турнира? Какую цель ты себе сам поставил изначально? И, может быть, сейчас она поменялась, и у тебя уже другие приоритеты на этот турнир и все остальное?
So you beat now Happy. What is your goal? What is your priorities? Like, do you think that you can win this championship and be the number 1?
Well, considering that I nearly beat Fortitude and I just reverse swept Happy, I definitely have chances to go to the very end.
То есть он считает, что у него огромные шансы дойти до конца, потому что он просто сейчас стер с карты Хэппи, и у него есть козыри.
После победы над Хэппи ты сразу же сделал селфи. Для тебя это исторический момент, ты запечатлил его, или ты отправил, может быть, кому-то из своих друзей? Для чего ты это сделал?
I understand, yeah. I never want to forget this moment, so that's why I take a picture to, relive the memory.
Да, я думаю, все поняли, да. Он сделал фотографию для того, чтобы оставить ее в своей памяти, потому что это действительно великий момент для него, великий момент для этого турнира. Ты действительно, наверное, возможно, я скажу, что ты самый яркий игрок этого турнира. У тебя действительно очень интересный подход к игре. И мы поздравляем еще раз тебя с победой. И желаем, чтобы ты нас радовал своими яркими стратегиями и дальше.
I want to congratulate you on your victory one more time. You're one of the brightest players during this game, and I want to see you winning and to be happy and to make us happy with your victories.
Yeah, this event is great, and I'm happy to hear those words. I do my best.
Спасибо за интервью. Thank you. Ребят, на этом сегодняшний день заканчивается, но, естественно, вы не переключайтесь, потому что у нас еще эмоции есть.
Dude, I wonder if they have an exit interview with Happy. That would be my absolute worst nightmare, to be the interviewer for that.
Yeah, let's see. He's going to be not very talkative. I think Happy refused if they tried to ask him.
Yeah, fair. I think these exit interviews are voluntary, so it's fine. But man, that is one of the biggest disappointments in Happy's Warcraft career, and that is Starbuck's greatest success in his Warcraft career, I think.
Yeah, that's really sick. I mean, Starbuck, very talented, very smart, and you know, in the past, there have been people that have been able to outsmart Happy. It's not many, but definitely it has happened. But very few have the mechanical skill to also apply your brainchild of strategy to also bring it to a positive conclusion. And I think Starbuck passed all those skill checks with flying colors in this series.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the mechanics, but the decision making, the experience, like this is such a rare feat. So few can do it. This is also why we have so few new players, I guess. Like decision making is so clutch in Warcraft, and Starbuck, big brain, got that thing down in like 4 years, which is still a long time, but he got better every year. We saw him rise, like making it from an amateur player to the DreamHack round of 16. Then it took another 3 months, and then he was top 8. Then he started to play Asian tournaments where the start was a little rocky, but all of a sudden he was top 8. He was top 4. Every month a step further. And then it wasn't like a Cinderella story and he didn't have this meteoric rise. He got slaps on the wrist on that journey. Like he was slapped in the face, got a round of 32 eliminations recently. But here on the big stage, man, it's all coming together, and I'm incredibly happy for that guy.
Of course, we got stellar performance by 120 as well. He managed to 3-2 Happy, 3-0 Loliot. He's going to be facing Fortitude in the finals. How much have they played as of recently? What do we expect there for the winner bracket finals?
It's hard to say. 1-0 is not as good versus human as Happy is, I would say, but he plays a very different style as well. In big matches, barely any Crypt Lord, more Tet Fiends, and he's kind of the only one who does it with lots of aggression. So I don't know if 40 style is too great against that. It's so hard to call. I would give the edge to 40 just because how good he is with Archmage Footy Water Elementals. But this 1-0 here, who 3-0'd Lawliot and eliminated Happy before, he might be the best player so far.
Yeah, he's certainly an undead mirror specialist when compared to Happy. Would still give Happy a small edge when going up against Night Elf and Human, whereas 120 sometimes shows some performances against Orc that Happy doesn't quite replicate. I think they both have two good matchups. Unfortunate for Happy to fall to the wayside by him, but absolutely deserved. Another absolutely awesome series is going to be happening in the lower bracket finals. Happy, of course, eliminated. We will have Starbuck against Soin, where Starbuck presumably goes back to his human and will face Soin, who said that human is a little trickier than Night Elf.
Yeah, that's really weird, right? Like, Starbuck was playing Orc versus Human the entire tournament, and now we gotta have the roles reversed. And for Soin, he again has a human Orc, human Orc matchup ahead of him that he's been playing the entire tournament, so he should be very well prepared. One of these guys will have an unpredictable top 3 run and will then be challenged by the loser of Fortitude and 1-0. Tomorrow is a big, big, big party for all Warcraft fans.
Should be very good. When does it start, Neo?
12:30. So you'll probably be asleep, so better set the alarm, Grub.
I'll catch the first VODs while having breakfast and walking my dog through the forest with your cats. Good luck with that. Thanks for having me on your stream, and good luck tomorrow.
That was an absolute dream for me. Casting this historic match with you couldn't have been a better evening. Thank you so much for your time.
Same here, man. My honor. Have a good night. See ya.
Take care.